Just 11 days after needing a replay and extra time to scrape past lower league opposition Chasetown, Leamington's FA Cup run continues here this afternoon as they take on a more familiar foe in the form of fellow National League North side Darlington. After conceding 5 goals in their last 2 home league games with no reply of their own, Holleran will be desperate for his side to be on target this afternoon as he seeks a way into the 4th qualifying round of the FA Cup for the first time as Break's boss. Following midweek's 2-0 defeat here to Hereford, which took the tally to no win in 3 home games, the Leamington side sees 2 changes as Jack Lane slots into left-back in the place of the cup-tied Stephen Morley, and Kieran Dunbar makes way for Connor Taylor. Dexter Walters, who signed a month's loan from Coventry City in the week, is named amongst the substitutes. Darlington have proven to be tricky opposition for the hosts, and the Quakers' aspiration to make it back into the Football League is very much still on the club's agenda. With 3 wins in their last 5 games, Darlow travel here with a steady momentum in their sails as they seek a way into the next round. 3 out of the last 4 fixtures between these two have ended in draws, but with the demand of fixtures mounting up in the coming months, both of these sides will want to get the job done here this afternoon and guarantee that their name is in the 4th round qualifying hat, desperate to avoid a stalemate and a midweek replay. High up towards Edwards. Edwards wins the header down. March gets there ahead of the defender. Conley spills. The offside flag is up on that far side, but Josh March did well to get there ahead of the Darlington defence. Just couldn't get enough power on the effort to really trouble Liam Connell, who made a good save down to his right hand side. And it's another scrappy effort in the penalty area that doesn't go Leamington's way, as it remains 0-0 here at the Phillips 66. Lane into the feet of Josh March. He's found a way back to Jack Lane, but his pass is sloppy and easily picked up by Headley. Here's Campbell. Campbell looking for O'Neill. His touch just got away from him, and Anderson with a slick turn away from Campbell. Here's March looking for the 1-2 with the Leamington striker. Leamington have Darlington stretched here. Anderson now found a way past Headley. It chips the back post. Taylor's put his header over the bar. What a chance for Connor Taylor to pick up his first Leamington goal this season. Well, it's fantastic interplay between Josh March and Cayman Anderson, linking up really well. Anderson found a way past Headley, stood it up towards the back post. All it was needed, it was begging for a touch, and Taylor provided it, but just got under the effort and sent his header over the crossbar. And what an opportunity for Leamington to take the lead on the 25-minute mark. But it still remains 0-0 between these two. Jack Lane able to buy himself some space and find the chest of Cayman Anderson. Anderson does well to shield the ball and find Flanagan. Flanagan turns away and feeds Lane. It's well played by Leamington to get themselves out of that spot of bother. Josh March with a really good touch there to open his body out and feed Anderson left-hand side. Anderson inside to March. March works it onto his right foot, goes for goal and almost found the top corner. Just couldn't get enough curl in it there, Josh March. But once again, brilliant chemistry between the Leamington striker and Cayman Anderson. Reece Flanagan on the right-hand side. And it comes. Edwards at the front post! And somehow it's saved by Liam Connell, denying Jack Edwards. I think the majority of those Leamington fans behind that goal thought that they would see the net nestling, but Connell got down well at his front post to deny Jack Edwards what would have been the opener here at the Phillips 66. A free header from Edwards, brilliant delivery from Reece Flanagan, but Connell getting down really well to squander the effort. Now it's with Headley squeezing a ball, seeking the run of Campbell. James Mace very aware and good defending there from the centre-back, but he's got more to do here. Here's Rivers into the penalty area, across the face of goal. Campbell prods towards the net, calls for hands, very strong appeals from the Darlington supporters. There's Hatfield with an effort on goal, squandered, and it rolls through safely to Jake Weaver. But very strong appeals there from the Darlington supporters, more than the players, as there was a plethora of Leamington bodies that squandered the first effort from Adam Campbell. It's the first time that Darlington have really threatened the Leamington goal in this first half. Cleared upfield. Jamie Hood with good composure to take it away from O'Neill. Josh March is waiting. Touch takes it away from Galbraith. And it's inches away from nesting in the bottom corner of that far post. Anderson didn't quite gamble enough, but Josh March just unable to turn the ball goalwards. Hatfield. Here's Headley. Campbell now. Campbell into the feet of Holness. Campbell has continued his run forward, but just leant back as he took the effort with the inside of his foot and sent the shot over the crossbar. But, well, late in the first half, Darlington linking up well on that right-hand side. It's a short corner to Campbell. Well worked. Rivers! And it's given us offside against Rivers. But there's a well-worked corner there by Darlington, straight from the training ground. Flanagan then standing over this. And Flanagan can deliver towards the front post. Anderson with the flick! Edwards arriving at the back post. Couldn't make any contact with it, Jack Edwards. And it remains goalless here, despite a handful of chances for both sides. Well, I thought the last touch came off O'Neill there. I don't think English made any contact with the ball yet. Nonetheless, it is a corner kick. Here's Wheatley. Finds the feet of Holness. And it's cleared away by Gittins. Headley does well to hold off Josh March. Campbell with a ball into the penalty area. O'Neill's taken it well. O'Neill's taken it brilliantly and found the bottom corner. Well, with both sides having a handful of chances, it was going to take something special to break the deadlock. And Tyrone O'Neill has certainly provided that. The ball back into the penalty area. He had his back to goal, controlled it on his chest, then his thigh. Just a touch to set himself some space and lashed it into that bottom corner past Jake Weaver. And it's Darlington who have come out a much better side in this second half, who have taken a 1-0 lead in this third round qualifying FA Cup tie. It's Leamington 0, Darlington 1, and once again Leamington find themselves behind at home. And it's the home side now, if they want to put their names in the hat for the fourth round of qualifying that have plenty to do. It's Anderson! It's a fantastic save from Connell, who tipped it over the crossbar. And Leamington, within seconds, almost brought themselves level straight from kickoff. But it's Liam Connell with a big palm over his own crossbar to deny Cayman Anderson. Well, what's a dramatic 2 minutes here at the Phillips 66. But Darlington hang on to their 1-0 lead and book their place in the fourth round of FA Cup qualifying. Edwards flicks on towards March, who's got there ahead of Galbraith. Isolated out there, Josh March, but he's fashioned something out of it. March lays it back to Flanagan. Flanagan drives towards goal. Connell level to it. Taylor muscled out of it on the edge of the penalty area by O'Neill, and he can hack away for Darlington. A strong drive from Reece Flanagan, but Connell down quickly to make the save. Hatfield. O'Neill. Here's Headley. Cut out by Keane. Walters will look to get onto the loose ball. Gittins with a lofted ball over the top of the Darlington defence. Josh March will give chase and wait for support. Still with March. Needs to find an opening here. March goes down to the penalty area and the referee waves away appeals. It's still with Leamington. Here's Walters. Turns away. Left-footed strike. Just curling away from that far post from Dexter Walters. But superb work from Josh March. Find Dexter Walters. Worked it onto his left foot, but just curled it away from the target. O'Neill flicks through to Rivers. Might break here for Donowa, who seals the tie for Darlington. They're heading into the hat for the fourth round of FA Cup qualifying. And again for Leamington, they crash out at the third round. It was a hopeful ball over on the left-hand side, Rivers did brilliantly to break into the penalty area. It broke for the substitute and he did the rest, finishing past the advancing Jake Weaver, and makes it 2-0 to the visitors. And Leamington's hopes of progressing past the third round of qualifying all but dashed out. And there's the referee's whistle, and Leamington's 2019-2020 FA Cup run comes to an end with Darlington progressing through to the fourth round of qualifying. It was a game of two halves. Leamington couldn't take their chances in the first and they were punished. It's Leamington's third home defeat in 4 games in all competitions, and once again for Paul Holleran, no place in the fourth round of qualifying hat in the FA Cup, as it's finished here, Leamington 0, Darlington 2.
So Paul, heartbreaking afternoon for Leamington out there, losing when potentially were probably the better side out there.
Oh, well, listen, I mean, it's cup football, it can be quite ruthless, and I mean, listen, it's a very similar conversation to Farsley, Chasetown here. Not so much Hereford, but similar first half. And the same again today. Listen, we've come out the blocks again and we've done really well. It's a difficult one for me at the moment because as a manager you look at your players and you think, are they putting the legwork in? Is everyone giving everything? Are we all trying? Are we all this? And are we creating chances? And we tick every box really. But sadly, and I am repeating myself week in, week out at the moment, we just sadly haven't been good enough in both boxes again. So we've had a long period, especially first half or even the start of the second half, where the chances kept coming and the chances kept going. And I just feel when you get into, when you're looking at, the chances we've had at the back stick with Hanna, and obviously the corner we work on with getting Jack the free header, with Marshy going through, Cayman going through, I can go on and on. And as much as people have watched the game and think, well, we were the better side for long periods, but Darlington are a good side, and at some stage they'll have a spell. But as I just said to the players in there, if I look at some of the games, if I look at Chasetown, for instance, sort of 29 shots to 3 or 4 and it ends up 2-2. At the moment we're not able, if it was the other way round, we wouldn't be able to withstand that kind of pressure. The goals are too easy. I understand the one at the end, Jackson, you take a chance at the end. But the goal itself, we're in control of the game, it's a set play, we haven't reacted to a short corner, we haven't reacted to a second phase, the ball's rolled in and we've got to defend better around the edge of our box. I think a couple of midfield players need to be cleverer, we've got to defend better in one-on-one situations. It's a great finish from a centre forward's point of view, but it's just too easy. And this is after a period where they haven't really done a lot. I don't want to be critical, it's not at all, because they've come away from home, they've won the game, but from our point of view, it's too easy, it's too easy. It's a situation where, we're pounding teams, and some of it's bad for some of it's great defending, last minute blocks, it's whatever. And sadly we ain't doing that. Listen, the backbone of our success over here for years has been as a team, the amount of clean sheets we've kept, and it gives you a platform. And I'm certainly not letting the attacking players off, because we've got to do better. We've got to chip in with more goals from all areas. And as I said right at the start, it's not that we're not creating chances. If we weren't creating chances, you stand here getting beat 2 or 3 times in the last few weeks, you'd start thinking whatever. But we are, and there's lots of legwork there, there's lots of energy there, there's good quality from set players, winning lots of first and second headers. But at the moment the ball just isn't going in the net, whereas maybe at the start of the season they were going in the net. And first goals are important, and yet again today, after probably having most of the chances and most of the play, we haven't got the first goal in a cup game. That's critical, because then you've got to push and try and get the goal, and we've pushed and tried. And obviously we've been done on the counter for the second, so it's cup football. And listen, probably more years than ever I was desperate to try and get past this third qualifying round. We all want it, the club wants it, I want it, the players want it, supporters want it, we all want it, but it just isn't to be again. So got to dust ourselves down. We've got got some really tough games coming up, and we've got to move on, but unless we unless we start being better in both boxes, it'll end up being a really long, hard winter for us. So that's something it's rather the players have got to address or I've got to address.